Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting Team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for hooking up. Good morning. Thank you for hooking up with us on Monday Morning Matters. It delights my heart to come your way this morning. We've started a very hot season topic on easy church signs to detect. 12 of them, we've done like 4 of them. 12 on easy signs to detect in a declining church. We want to welcome you to this live broadcast show on Facebook, YouTube channel. This month is very special to Nigerians. It's our 62nd independence, and I'm here to just say Happy New Month to our dear viewers and Happy Independence Day. Thank you for hooking up with us. We're so glad that you are part of this live broadcast show. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. Okay, Magnicraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical assessment, trainings, and strategic blueprints. Our vision is to be the leading church health consultancy firm that creates sustainable and actionable solutions. I'm a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the US, and I'm a host to your live Facebook live broadcast show every Monday, 7 a.m. Nigerian time, GMT +1. I'm also known as a church health guardian of the 21st century. A big thank you to everyone who has been sharing our content, commenting and reaching out to us to telling us how timely our broadcast is, commenting and sharing and liking our video. I want to just say thank you. Once again, Happy Independence Day, Happy New month is my birthday month, and then it's such a nice month to be the month of October, where great things are happening. I want to just do some housekeeping here. We're going to talk about the 12 uneasy signs to in a declining church, and then we're going to also look at some other areas as well. Okay, want to become a certified church consultant? Please feel free to hook up with me. You want to, massive discount up to like 40% from Dr. Tom Rayner. Please reach out to me if you want to become. You have years of experience. You have advanced in pastoring, planting, leading churches. Reach out to me, and I'm going to give you a massive discount on how you can be trained and certified as a church consultant, so that I can help more churches become healthier. If you have not gotten my book on church retention, Pathway to Growth, I want you to get that book. It's going to change your life and your church around. I've had some good feedbacks from the church leaders, and it's been massive. I want you to just make sure you get this book, and you make sure you devour the book to help your church move from where it is right now to where it should be in God. Okay, and so that's what we have done for the housekeeping. And for me, I want to just make sure that we understand what a declining church is. Okay, a declining church is reducing in attendance as your days are approaching. You are actually declining. You are declining in terms of your giving, your attendance. You are declining your giving and attendance. And one of the things I will say quickly is such that we need to understand so much of what is going on in our churches. Okay, so much is going on, and we need to be able to detect the uneasy signs in terms of where we are in the life cycle. Okay, where are we in the birth phase or the launch phase? Are we in the momentum growth or strategic growth or sustained health? Or we're this other side of the graph where it's preservation, maintenance, life support, and possibly a death kind of thing. So we want to ensure that we get ourselves right in terms of where we need to address issues as a church. Okay, we need to address issues as a church. So most categories have been so clear in terms of we have a category called the declining set of churches, or churches who are in subtraction mode. You cannot begin to add until you are able to overcome that gravity of subtraction, so that you don't get to the point of decline. And then we have the plateau or the maintenance mode, and then we have what we call the additional or the growing stage, and we also have the reproducing stage. We also have the multiplying stage, and that is where we can begin to have some form of categorizations of churches. Okay, we have the declining, we have the plateauing, we have the growing or adding, reproducing, and the multiplying. You see, one of the things I would say from all those 5 categories, this is basically from the Lifeway research deductions. Now, signs are supposed to be interpreted differently based on the category these churches are. Okay, just like when you have a high blood pressure, for somebody who is 75 is different from somebody who is 15. Okay, some metrics, some signs are actually different for certain churches at certain life cycle they have. Okay, from those Lifeway research deduction in 2019, 70% of churches are subtracting, are declining, and they are plateauing. Only about 30% actually growing and adding and improving as a church. Okay, so I want you to understand that 70%, over 70% of churches are actually in subtraction mode. They're actually in declining mode or maintenance mode or plateauing mode. All of them together, all those categories together. There are relatively few reproducing churches. So we have very few churches who are into church planting, who are reproducing themselves, who are branching out, who are setting out to do new work in new fields. And the thing is, we need to get more churches who are planting, because there's no how you'll be planting and advancing the kingdom of God and you will not advance or in your own church. Small churches are the severe risk than large churches in terms of dying. Okay, more smaller churches are at the risk of dying than even larger churches. So you can see why there's wisdom in your church trying to grow as a church. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that it is harder to detect most signals, most signs or metrics or indicators with a large size church. Okay, it's just like for a small church, if you want to know when people are happy in a small church, you can actually see that you people are actually happy in your church. So for me, in a larger church, to detect certain things, you need to be able to look beyond attendance, beyond givings, and then begin to address it. So it's harder to detect some signs in such size church. And then it's also difficult for small churches to watch these vital signs to move from a small size church to a large size church. What I'm saying is not church, is that for every life cycle stages any church is, whether in the birth phase, the growth phase, the maintenance phase, the declining phase, the distress phase, the dropout phase, and the death phase, for every life cycle stage any church is, there is a set of uneasy signs to detect. There is an uneasy signs to detect that if you can be able to detect such, you will be able to know what is going on in the church, and then you'll be able to address the issue before that issue begin to address you. Okay, address the issue before the thing begin to give you some form of nasty dressing. Okay, just like in the growth of a child, sometimes if you are looking at the child every minute, you will not know that the child is growing until you leave the child for 6 months. You come back, you see some increment in height. Or you leave the child for like 4 years without looking at the child, you now notice that the child is becoming an adult. So there are some signs that if you keep looking at them every time, you might not know that the rate of change is occurring. And so that's why we call them uneasy signs. It's not something that there's some signs that you have to be looking at every day, no doubt. But there's some signs that you have to look at monthly. You have to look at quarterly. You have to look at in 6 months, between the 6 months into the year, and then annually or biannually. Okay, you look at some of those trends year by year, in 5 years, in 10 years. So for every life cycle any church is, there is some signs that are uneasy to detect. And once you're able to detect those signs, it's helpful to make you proactive as a leader to lead your church into terrains that will give God glory. Periodic checks are also good for you to see incremental changes that are occurring in your church. So for me, I want to just go deep down into some of those. Thank you for all my people following me. Thank you for following me. I can see your comment. I'm going to respond shortly. Now, number one today will be how to increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of what is working in your church to improve it. So, for example, evangelism is working in your church. Evangelism is working in your church. How do you increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of your church? Because if you are not working to improve the efficiency of what is working in your church, from time to time, there's a time that it will start to decrease. It will start to decline. Okay, I'm talking about evangelism or communication or procurement process. How can you begin to know that these metrics are helping us to increase in terms of efficiency and effectiveness of the things that are working in the church? Okay, whatever it is, discipleship, communication, operations, evangelism within the church. The spiritual state of your church is such that it's difficult to detect. Okay, are your people spiritually sound? Are your people spiritually growing? Are your people discipleship pathway effective over time? Is the prayer life of your congregation, are they intact? Those are very difficult to detect. Is the reading of the Bible of your congregation? Okay, how can you? Because the research have shown that the more your congregation is reading the Bible, the more healthier your church will become. Okay, if you have your church, there's a point where your church will get to. You have to begin to have a devotional system. Okay, to make people to go through the Bible and to pray together and to fellowship together. So how can you increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of what is working in your church? What is working in your church is to keep working to the extent at which you're able to detect the metrics that is helping you to know that there's an increase or a decrease in the efficiency and the effectiveness of what is working in your church. So find ways to improve that over time. I've mentioned some salient areas in terms of your prayer life, in the prayer life of your church, the reading of the Bible, culture of your church. In fact, even the culture, mannerisms, these are things that are difficult. Okay, culture, discipleship, evangelism, communications, and then how do you detect such that you can be able to make some needed improvement in your church. Okay, needed improvement in your church. So that's it. How can you begin to know those data, those signs, those metrics, those indicators that tells you that you need to work on the efficiency and the effectiveness of what's working to improve it from time to time? You see, something that is working yesterday does not mean it's going to work today. Something that is working yesterday doesn't mean that it's going to work today. And something that is working today does not mean, and it worked yesterday, does not mean it's going to work tomorrow. And so when leaders are not proactive to know exactly when something is reducing, you don't wait for systems to stop working. Okay, you are proactive to know when there's a decrease in the effectiveness of what's working, or there's a decrease in the efficiency of what's working in your church, so that you can be able to improve that efficiency, so that it does not impede in the health of your church as a whole. Okay, so let's go to I think we finished the juice on that. Let's go to the next point. Has to do with the rate of contacting and connecting with new guests. Okay, it's very easy for churches to be able to know the volume of guests coming into the front door. Just count the number of people who are coming to the front door per time. Of course, that's easy. It's very easy for every church to know this is the number of guests we received. But you see, another thing is, how can you begin to know how many of those guests that has been plugged into your church? So the rate of contacting and connecting these new people into the church, whereby you are not losing the connection of the old members into the church. So how do you develop your retention rate? In short, when there is a decline in retention rate, how do you detect that? Okay, because retention rate sometimes is not constant. If your church is running at 30% retention rate, what that means, if you read my book on church retention, if 10 people are entering your front door, 3 is retained and 7 is leaving the back door. And so we have said that if you read my book, focus on the front door and the back door. But you see, the thing is, there's so much going on inside the church that we need to begin to know what is the assimilation ratio. What is the people that is coming into the front door that is being established as members in the church or in the congregation? Okay, what is that rate of how we are contacting new guests, connecting new guests, establishing new guests, not leaving the fact of the old ones who are also getting plugged into the church. One of the things I say in my training is that assimilation does not end. It's an ongoing process that continues on an ongoing basis, and so we need to make sure that process is also very, very efficient. That process is also very, very efficient for you to be able to know, because one of the things I found out, if you read my book on church retention, is that a lot of pastors are desiring their church to grow. A lot of pastors want their church to explode. But you see, the secret is for you to get church retention right. If you can get retention right, I can tell you that your church is going to grow. If you can be able to retain all the people God is going to bless you with, I can tell you your church is going to eventually grow. Okay, I'm going to say one more, and then we're going to spotting a good opportunity on a real-time basis. Okay, one of the things I love to do for churches is to create a dashboard for them where they can see what is going on real time. Okay, people do all the data entry, there's a real-time analysis, and on the dashboard you see the metrics real time, and then you being able to spot a good opportunity to take decision, because sometimes one of the things that kills decision is when you are not taking decision by seizing the real-time opportunity that data is posing on you. Okay, you have people who have given their life to Christ. The opportunity is that you should have a pool of people who are supposed to do water baptism. You can imagine on the dashboard you have 57 people giving their life to Christ. What it means is that that's a golden opportunity for water baptism. Okay, so in your dashboard real time, you'll be able to spot out a good opportunity to take advantage of doing ministry, to take advantage of it to the church. Okay, most leaders make wrong and late decisions, resulting in weak momentum, conflict, or loss in growth momentum. Okay, your dashboard must be vis-a-vis you're leading by the Spirit to take advantage of the golden opportunities. I mean, on real time now, because sometimes when you have opportunity and you don't take advantage of them, opportunity don't just wait for you for too long. Sometimes they will stay in the moment, and then if you don't seize the moment, you have lost that opportunity. So the way you make decisions should not be the same forever. There are some that you have to be patient to take decision, and there are some that you have to take the bull by the horn and take the risk to be able to take advantage of good opportunity on a real-time basis. There are quite a lot of dashboard opportunities. Okay, so when you're looking at those metrics, you begin to look at golden good opportunity to seize from that moment to be able to take advantage to do ministry as a whole. Okay, I want to wrap it up here so that I thank you, Pastor Joel. I thank you for those who are watching us on the live broadcast show. Thank you so much for, please share this content out to your pastor, share it to a church leader. Please, you have any church related questions for me, you have any inquiries for me, please feel free to hook up with me on any of our social media handles. Please feel free, if you have any church related questions for me, let us have them on any of our social media handles. On any of our social media handles, I'm going to get you more than an answer. Perhaps you have any question, any inquiry, I'm going to give you more than an answer from any of our social media handles. Okay, please, this video has been helpful to you. Give me a like, give us a like, do share to your community of church leaders. Do share us to your community. Drop us a comment. You've learned from me. I would love to hear from you. Okay, where are you reading and hearing from me and learning from me from? Okay, drop us a comment in the comment section. What you feel are the uneasy signs to detect in a church. Please feel free to drop a comment on the comment section on the YouTube, on the Facebook page, and you will get a response from me. Please feel free to also contact us. We do revitalizations, we do consultations, we do trainings, we do strategic planning. Last week, I had an opportunity to train over 2,000 church leaders in Calabar. It was massive, it was refreshing, it was mind-blowing. Reach out to us. We're going to help your church move from where it is right now to where it should be in God. And I know that God wants a better thing for you as a church. So let your comments, let your questions roll in, and we'll be able to help your church move from where it is right now to where it should be in God. Okay? Till I come your way next week, Monday, with a continuation of the uneasy signs to detect in a declining church. I will say bye-bye for now. God bless you, and I love what you're doing. Thank you.